balloon and one refill. So here either maybe this will be the positive charge acquired or this will be negative charge. So when the positive or negative charges, that means different kinds of charges will be present means, so both are trying to attract each other. Okay, so both are trying to attract each other. So that means what is called, this is called attraction. So attraction of the charges. Okay, so either it is nothing but when you are rubbing with, either you are giving any friction, okay, either you are rubbing by rubbing, so that when you are rubbing, what will happen, that statically charged, that what is called that stable atoms and all, it will try to move, the charges and all try to move, because previous state they will become electrically stable material, so the number of protons and the number of electrons should be equal. But once if you what's called rubbed with any fur or any amber or any material, so either they will lose the electron or either they will gain the electron. Okay, so based on that they will say it is called positive charged body or negative charged body. So you will learn about in the higher class. Okay, so this is the basic concept related to that charges. Okay, so which material, these materials and all, what's called, one material is gaining that charge, one material is what's called losing the charge. So what does it states that, so which material is gaining, that is called charged, it will get charge from other body, so we call it as, it is called, it is nothing but charged body. Okay, so here maybe they will take, we can by convention we can take one is positive and another one is a negative. Okay, and one more thing is, I will say that here that how the lightning will be happen. Okay, so this is the main concept, students. So how the lightning will be happen. See what I said here. Okay, so in before we know about it, what is the historical thing about that light. Okay, that means so here lightning means, simply we can say that accumulation of charges. Okay, so lightning I will write. So what is mean by lightning? So this is called accumulation of charges. Okay, okay, so you know that air is the conductor or insulator. So you heard about air is that what is called insulators. Okay, but what happened when the what's called thunderstorm and lightning, that time what will happen? So first you have to know that, see the cloud it has n number of charges. There are a lot of charges will be present in the cloud. Okay, so when the rain is happening, that time what will happen? So towards down, the water droplets and all trying to go towards down, and what will happen due to heating effect of these charges, so the charges are trying to move upside. Okay, so what will happen after that time? So due to that air current, that means due to that heating effect of air current, so the accumulation of charges will be happen inside the sky. So the positive charges and all, it will be trying to going above in the sky part. Okay, and the bottom part, the negative charges and all accumulated. Okay, after some time. So and even what is called that above that sea level, here also positive charges and all, it will be observed, positive charges and all present. Okay, so due to that air current, the what's called enormous amount of heating effect that time will be possible. So what will happen? So accumulation of charges, it will be enhanced more, it will be developed more number of charges will be formed. So what will happen? So the negative charges, the bottom of the sky, it consists of lot of negative charges, that negative charges trying to attract this positive charge. So what does it states that, so here positive charge, here negative charge. So what will happen? So both charges and all trying to each other, try to attract each other. So that time what will happen? That time what's called streaks of line. So streaks of light, a huge number of streaks of light will be possible. So that is called making of lightning effect. Okay, so again I will say, So first, air is consist of lot of charges. Okay, so due to the heating effect of the charges and all accumulated over the different parts of the sky. Okay, so after a certain time, what will happen? The positive charges and all try to going rise above, and the negative charges just going below that sky. And above the sea level also, even that above the tree and the canopy and all, so the positive charges and all accumulated. So when the air gets heated more and more and more means what will happen, both charges and all trying to attract each other. So that time a huge number of streaks of line will be possible, a sparkling effect will be possible. So that time air it cannot be performed as an insulator. That time it can resist that, it will try to resist the flow of the charges, but after that number of charges, enormous amount of heat, so it cannot resist it, so simply it will pass that to the air. So that time it will attract that other charges, so the lightning effect will be possible. Okay, so this is that lightning. And how can we prevent, the lightning when the lightning will be happen, how can we prevent? So that is that one position they given, right? Squid down, I think so. Okay, so first one, you have to go to that safety place. So any safety place you have to move on that. So for example, even what's called, you should not be stand in that any open places. Okay, so you should not be, okay, you should not be stand in that any open places. So that is very important, students. And one more thing, if any what's called any vehicle is there, means any vehicle or even car or any car or bus is there means, so everything should be closed. Okay, so if that is a safety place, so safety place, what's called closed, the closed vehicle. So that time your charges and all, what's called charges and all moving linearly. And one more thing is, what is that, suppose if you are you should not stand under that tree also, or even any metallic objects you should not carry it. Okay, so because metals and all, it will conduct a good amount of electricity, so you have to squat down. Okay, so that proper position, you have to sit in proper position, that is called squat low down. So the proper position you have to sit, so that we can reduce somewhat some extent, some effect. So this is called the lightning concept, students. And one more thing I will say about it, lightning conductor. Okay, so what happened to this lightning conductor, and where it will be placed. And you have seen that any what's called mostly that height places and all, am I right? Any tower or what's called any tall places, so that time they have taken this one. Okay, see this lightning conductor. So what is that lightning conductor? See, if you look on that here, so here the lightning conductor, there will be some what's called sharp end will be present. Okay, that sharp end will be present. So this metallic rod, they place that metallic rod in that above that top of the building. So through that metallic rod, so there will be what's called one end should be opened and another end should be buried inside the earth. So here the copper plate is here they buried that copper plate also. So what will happen, so when you are placed in this somewhat certain amount of height, so it will attract this amount of negative charges, and these charges will be carried towards the down. Okay, so that we called as earthing. Okay, so even though if you look on that any major what's called electronic devices, they have 3 pins, right? For example, freezer and all 3 pins, and iron box and all 3 pins. So one is positive and another one is negative, and one more is what they have to do, that is called earthing, right? So they said earth connection is there, right? So earthing is nothing but the excess amount of charges will be move towards that earth, inside that earth. Okay, so earth surface, so that is called earthing. Okay, see, the charge is, when the charged body is carrying the charge towards the earth surface, it is called earthing. Okay, so what will happen when the lightning is produced that time? So it will carry the number of charges and it will pass the charges to that earth surface. So here the copper plate will absorb all the charges. So here, and even the earth also consists of lot of charges, and make that charges will be nullified each other. So that time there will be no effect will be possible, then there is no collision also will be there. So this is the concept of that lightning conductor. So majorly in cinema hall, building, top of the building, or even if any of the top of the building and all, if you have seen, means the lightning conductor they used, simply they protect that damage, protect from the damage. Okay, and one more thing is, in I think in 2005, I think so, I don't know that clear year, and in some part of India and even Gujarat and all, what's called the earthquake and all happen. Okay, so I will come to the earthquake in the next class, but anyway, so you just think about that earthquake, how it will be produced. See, it is nothing but you know that the earth is made up of different layers, right? What's called mantle, outer core, inner core, and a lot of plates and all moving. And due to that movement of the plates, what will happen? So even tsunami waves and all producing. So these are some destruction, some natural phenomena. So we cannot avoid it, but anyway, we have to find at some extent, right? We can find and we can make a precaution about it. So this is a major thing, students. So this is that today's concept also. So anyway, I'll repeat that one. So you just know about what is the historical thing about of light, and what is meant by charges, what is meant by electrically stable, and how the positive charged body and how the negative charged body will perform if you rub into different kinds of materials, and what is meant by lightning, and how lightning will be happen. And you know one thing, students, when the lightning will be happen, the thunderstorm also will happen, but that first lightning only will happen because the speed of the light will be more, much fast, much more. That means very high value than the speed of the sound. The speed of the sound will based on the temperature, nearly 330 to 340 meter per second. But what happened to light means, so it will come nearly 3 lakh meter per second. Okay, so it will be much faster than the sound. So that only first the streak of line, that means lightning will happen, then only what's that, and the sound, that thunderstorm will be happen. Okay, so it is nothing but the collision of charges, the collision of charges only, due to the heating effect only, that crackling sound and lightning sparks and all, it will be produced. Okay, it is nothing but what is that, if you take any silk material and if you rub with that any glass rod, you can see that some kind of sparkling sound also will be happen. And even if you take a comb and rub with that in your hair, what will happen? So if you take a piece if you took piece of paper, means it can attract. So because of the different amount of in charges, so whenever that different amount of charges will be present, so that time we can consider there will be some attraction will be present. And one more thing is that electroscope is very important. So I think, so the electroscope I will teach in that next class. Okay, so just a minute, students. Okay, students, so we will see that electroscope in the next class. Anyway, it is nothing but I will give a small introduction about electroscope. So electroscope is nothing but it's a device to detect the charges, whether the charge is present or not. Okay, okay, so anyway I'll teach. Okay, no problem. So the next class we will teach about that earthquake. So here I will take one jar. Okay, so here I will take one jar. So it should be opened, and in this open end I have taken one cardboard sheet. Okay, so through this cardboard sheet I have to make one hole. So here I will insert one paper clip. Okay, I will insert one paper clip. So here, so in that paper clip, so just take out that cardboard sheet, and here just hang out one aluminum foil. Okay, so this aluminum foil, so it should be size is, what is that, 4 meter length into 1 meter. Okay, 4 centimeter will take 4 centimeter, no 4 meter and all, it will be very 4 centimeter 1 centimeter. Okay, so 4 centimeter length and 1 centimeter breadth, you have taken that one aluminum aluminum foil. Okay, so what will happen if you have taken one refill which should be charged? That means if you have taken one discarded refill and you have rubbed with that any polythene or woolen material and just bring it to near to that paper clip, so what will happen? So here maybe positive charges will be present means, so this positive charges will be transferred, this positive charges will be transferred along this paper clip, and it will be go to that here that aluminum foil, the small metal strips I placed. So here that same amount of positive charges, here also positive charges, here also positive charges will be transferred from the refill, discarded refill. So what will happen? So here also same charges, here also same charges means what will happen? So it will be ripple with each other. So it will be ripple with each other means what will what we can say? So it can gain that same, when the same amount of charges will be passed to that same kind of material, the repulsion is possible. Now if you have taken this what's called rubbed end, if you have taken other end here uncharged, not rubbed end, no, so that end if you placed means what will happen? So this repulsion, it will become to attraction. Okay, now it will become to attraction because here it is be maybe electrically stable is there, there is no rubbed. So if you take any not rubbed part, so that leaf, that aluminum foil, it will try to attract. So when you place that charged body, that means when you rub with any material and place over on it, just gently over on it means, so the leaves and all, it will be repelled with each other. So due to that we can say we can detect whether the charge is present or not. How, sir? If the charges will be present means the leaf will be repel each other. If the charge is not present means it will be what's called, it will be same at the place. What place is before it's situated, same place it will be hanging on. Okay, so this is the electroscope, students, to detect the charge, the flow of, to detect the charge. That device is used for to detect the charge. It is called electroscope. Okay, so anyway, in the next class we will see that how the earthwork will be happen. So thank you, students, thank you all.